Ready to hear the engines roar? Peoria PT is coming up tomorrow, and we have the one and only Henry Wiles here to give us all of the details. Thanks so much for being here. Henry and the crew, we can't forget about the crew and the fantastic bikes. So let's get into it. First and foremost, for those who are unaware, what exactly is the Peoria TT?
Well, the Peoria TT is Class C motorcycle racing. We'll be going over 100 miles an hour with a big jump. You know, we'll be sailing these motorcycles over 100 feet in the air. So it's really exciting. It's a great family atmosphere. We're going to be having some of these boonie bikes out there and a ton of these Stasic bikes in the kids zone, so they can come out and ride the bikes around their own little track as the races are going on. So it's a really fun family atmosphere. We'll have food and drinks. Get your PMC burgers. They're world famous.
You know what? Speaking of world famous, you're a bit of a star here in Peoria when it comes to racing, and you're actually going to be racing one of these bikes. So let's talk about how you got into racing, and then let's talk about your ride for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, my dad, he got me into motorcycle racing when I was quite young. Started racing pretty much full on when I was 5 years old. And for this weekend, we're going to be riding this Pan America 1250 Harley Davidson, sponsored by the Walters Brothers Harley Davidson, just around the corner from the Peoria TT. And it's a new class in the series. So and these bikes actually jump real well. So we'll probably be sending this 500-pound motorcycle around 75, 80 feet through the air. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What type of training goes into something like this?
Well, for me, you got to be pretty serious about it. You got to be a pretty serious athlete. You know, do some weight training, cardio. I'm kind of a skinny guy, you know, because the more muscle you have, the more oxygen it takes to supply all that muscle. So you got to be pretty scrappy and be able to hold on to a big motorcycle like this.
Yeah, because is there anything strapping you to the motorcycle? Or is it really just all in that grip?
Yep.
Yeah, no wonder you got to be in the gym. You got to keep yourself grounded on the bike as you float through the air. So how big of a deal is this race? And to you specifically, because like I said, you're kind of a well-known individual when it comes to Peoria TT.
Yeah, for me it is a huge deal. I won my first national here, and then after I won the first race there, I continued that on for 14 years in a row, which was a great run for me. Had a lot of family and friends come to the race to cheer me on. So for me, you know, coming down that hill at the Peoria TT, you know, it gives me goosebumps pretty much every time, and I'm just happy to be here and happy to be racing, supporting the local businesses. It's always a lot of fun for me. The people in Peoria have always been great to me, and that's, I think, what makes it probably the most special thing for me. Absolutely.
And shout out to your posse. They came. I'm sure they helped you along the way a lot. So Peoria TT, it's tomorrow, right? When and where?
It's at the Peoria Motorcycle grounds, and you can start rolling in there at 9, but opening ceremonies are at 2 o'clock. So the show is really going to get started after 2 o'clock. If you got there at 2, the only thing that you would really have missed would be the timed qualifying and practice.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here, crew, too. Little Henry, you also holding it down on the bike back here. I'm going to send things to break because